With us today is Dr. Eric Ding, friend of the show. You can follow him on Dr. Eric Ding at Dr. Eric Ding on Twitter. He is a prolific tweeter, a great resource for COVID and health-related stuff. Hey, Doctor. Nice to see you again.
Wow, you guys got a fancy studio now.
Oh, yeah.
The $3 million studio.
We've come a long way since our last conversation. COVID's been good to us.
My God. I see, last time I showed up in my underwear, and this year...
Yeah, you weren't wearing pants, right?
I was...
He was wearing a suit top, and I caught him without pants on.
Oh, my God.
After the show. I know. I know. We're just that close. And,
yeah, we're good friends after that.
Well, it's like, it's COVID. Everyone was doing that, you know?
Absolutely. Well, it's just funny because you hear people talking about it, and then I just caught a little glimpse of, boxer briefs.
I was crossing my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to call you out, Doctor. You got you slacking.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right. So
I was gonna wear a suit for you, but then you know what? I thought we're so laid back that I'm just gonna wear my leather jacket. So.
Absolutely. Dan, are we good? Are we going?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay. So let's just.
All right.
So, welcome, Dr. Ding, friend of the show. This is your third time calling in, I believe, right?
Yeah, I've lost track. Space-time doesn't exist during this pandemic, but happy to be back.
Happy to have you back. This is my co-host, Hassan.
What's going on?
Hussein Pecker, you could call him.
I'm a brave truth teller, and I think COVID is fake. And, Doctor, I'm here to ask you some hard questions today.
That's all right. It doesn't really jive with your Bernie shirt, but that's all right.
No, I'm wearing this ironically. He's a communist.
All right.
So, Dr. Ding is, of course, the COVID soothsayer. He was sounding the alarms on COVID when everyone was saying it was fear-mongering. And he was right. He's always been right. He's Dr. Ding. And so I want to know what the fuck is going on with Omicron. What the hell are we going to do?
My God. I would say, first of all, that saying it right, it's Omicron.
Omicron.
Half the battle. You got to know the name of your enemy here. Look, we know it is going to be bad. We know that it is about 3 to 5x faster transmission than Delta. I actually read another expert that said it's 6x faster than Delta. And Delta is twice as fast as the original. So let that sink in. And some people say, well, it's mild and milder. But you know what? But Delta was 50% to double more severe than Wuhan. So if it's milder, we're just back at Wuhan. It's not that mild. Because, the people who say mild, they don't know anything about epidemiology. First of all, it's younger people getting infected, and younger people obviously hospitalized less. So they didn't adjust for age. We're more vaccinated now than before. They didn't adjust for that, more people are vaccinated. They didn't adjust for more people have been previously infected. And yet, despite all these things, hospitalizations are still shooting up. And there's it's not shooting up any faster. Yeah, but it's younger people and it's vaccinated and a lot of people got infected before. And also deaths trail by a couple of weeks. So you can't say that it's milder. That's nonsense. There's this hopium. It's like a drug. It's opium of hope.
Did you say? What about copium?
Yeah, copium.
The left wing sphere.
Yeah, some people call it copium, but good news is, look, I'm not I don't grift anything. Like, I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't have any widgets to sell. I'm not telling you to buy my vitamins.
Are you selling ivermectin, Doctor, that we can buy? Some Dr. Ding branded.
He's sponsored by Pfizer. I know it. You brought this man on, Ethan.
I've never taken any pharma money in my entire life.
I'd buy ivermectin from you.
15 years ago, I was a whistleblower against Merck, and pharma companies hate me. So it's a well-known thing.
Dr. Ding's the real deal. And also, you have tenure at Harvard as an epidemiologist?
No. I never was tenured.
But you
I
teach
did a
there.
whole bunch of different things. Yeah, I got my doctorate in epidemiology. and then a separate one in nutrition. So people.
Did you get your
the people-
doctorate from Harvard?
Yeah, both.
Oh
of them,
my
in
God!
epidemiology
You did,
and nutrition.
I mean,
Fake news. That's
what
right.
the
We're on the
fuck?
same page on this, right?
A doctorate from Harvard. You guys have no fucking footing to question the ding.
Yeah, guess what? I got my doctorate from the medicine of Bahamas, and it was a
my doctorate from
$300 course.
Ivermectin University.
Yeah, it's a $300
I
course.
am a med school dropout, guys. I am a med school dropout. So let's get that. I did fail in some things in life.
All right, stop being modest. Go ahead.
Okay. No, but end of the day,
You can make a really good media career out of that. You could just be like, I left med school because it was fake and not because I failed. I left it because I couldn't take the SJW rhetoric.
That's a good spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
I should be the next Alex Jones and huck some vitamins. Right. Sure. No, I actually became a faculty at Harvard Medical School, and then I had to drop out of medical school. It just got way too weird, and life is short. You have to choose.
Especially
what you wanna
with
do.
it's short, and it's shorter than usual with COVID.
Yeah, especially, and it's also making everyone more obese. Actually, yesterday they found a study that says the virus infects fat cells, so
Right.
it actually worsens COVID because it also doesn't just infect your lungs, but also infects fat cells, and then it causes a greater response that sends you to more hospital. And so we're actually creating a vicious cycle, right? COVID is making us all, a little bit bigger, and it's actually creating this vicious negative cycle. People not vaccinating is creating more Omicron, and we're not vaccinating Africa, and this is like our karma for ignoring Africa, and this is what we deserve. This it's a pandemic of a virus, but it's also a pandemic of failed leadership.
So let me ask you some specific questions. So, by your estimate, it seems like a lot of people don't know how to react to the Omicron threat. People are downplaying it. People are not understanding it. It's too early to really even tell. I remember when we first started hearing Delta, it was like, who cares? And then all of a sudden, it's a big deal. Is that what you see happening with Omicron? Is in like a month or 2 months, where everyone's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Like I feel like this deja vu feeling where, people said in January, February, March of 2020 that, you're fear mongering. It's not going to be that bad. We're in denial again. We still have people, on Fox News saying, this is nature's vaccine. It's perfect. It's mild and contagious, and soon nature will immunize us all. That's the biggest bull crap I've ever heard, because it's dangerous. This is faster. This is like, we're faster on transmission than ever before Delta. Delta was twice the original. This is like 3 to 5 times more transmissible than Delta. And so we're talking about like on a scale of infectiousness that, the Wuhan original strain can just go home compared to this, right? And we're heavily immunized. We're heavily either previously infected, and yet it's blowing through vaccines with 2 shots. 3 shots, it's good. Get boosters, please.
Oh, okay. That's comforting. You boosted
but
it,
2
son?
shots
Not
with
boosted
waning? No. But most people haven't, because they think, pandemic is over. Or like I'm infected before, I recovered, I got positive antibody tests, I'm good to go. No, the reinfection rates are really high. Reinfection is basically akin to breakthrough. It's really high. It's you're not going to get the protection that you think you have. And also, I hate to say it, for those who previously got infected, there's something called dead men tell no tales, as in, if you were vulnerable, you had already died last year. And so that's why you think that the people who got natural infection has it better. But no, you're not.
Yeah.
Because the reinfection is going to hit you really hard. We're talking about Omicron has 3 times the reinfection rate of Delta. So that basically means your previous Delta efficacy just dropped like 3/4 right there.
And the antibodies are inconsistent, right? Like the antibody development after like a natural infection is inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly, because it's highly variable. You could have a tiny dose or you could have a big dose, and it's not stable. And they estimate that 1 in 5 people don't even have any antibody response after a previous infection. They actually found that. And so basically you're deluding yourself if you think that, oh, I got previously infected and I'm okay. No, I don't think you're okay. And again, the boosters, a vaccine booster is better than 2 shots and an infection. So 2 shots and infection versus 3 shots, your booster 3 shots is way stronger. And they just showed that last week.
That's good to know.
I know. So go get boosted. Like seriously, until they come out with the Omicron adapted variant vaccine.
Nobody's taking that. Nobody's taking the Omicron vaccine because at that point, everybody's convinced that it's just a grift. No matter what, nobody's taking that.
No,
I don't think
you're
so.
100% right.
I think maybe you'll get 50% max. What?
Okay,
I'll take it.
Say no one's taking it, but but I'm saying at the end of the day, but for example, I want to say something. Like everyone who smokes cigarettes, because we have a lot of experience in epidemiology with cigarette smoking. Everyone who smokes cigarettes knows that cigarettes kill you. They still do it. But the moment that changes their mind and they quit is when a loved one dies. And we are living in a society in which we don't believe it until we see it for ourselves.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't know about that.
Didn't happen. My neighbor has to die, or my family has to die before I take it seriously. A lot of us have this mentality, and it's dangerous. And also the fact that I think we have to relabel fully vaccinated as 3 shots. And if we don't, people feel more invulnerable. It's kind of like when we first installed airbags and seatbelts, people drove faster because they felt invulnerable. When we had HIV cocktails, people started becoming more promiscuous because they feel invulnerable. And when we had vaccines, great, but then they dropped all their guard. Ventilation, masks, testing, distancing, contact tracing, they forgot them all. And it was like, well, I'm vaccinated. Let's go party in nightclubs. And that actually worsens it because you dropped all your guard on everything else. And that's why we have such huge numbers of outbreaks at Christmas parties and Comic-Con, anime convention. Remember the Comic-Con thing we stopped at the beginning last year?
Yeah. That was awesome. I mean, that was crazy. There was Dr. Ding was tweeting about how Comic-Con was about to go down in like Seattle of all places where there was like the first outbreak in America. And Keemstar did a story about how I was like being Karen trying to shut down Comic-Con.
I literally went to PAX East in Massachusetts in, I think, like the end of January or maybe in the beginning of February. I went to the Bernie Sanders rally, and I remember like then there was a sense of unease where I was like, I feel like we shouldn't be doing this. Like I had an obligation at that point to do it. It was my job, and I was trailing Bernie on the campaign trail. But I did feel like we probably should not be doing this right now.
It's scary.
And then after that, everything shut down anyway. Like I came back from Massachusetts and I was like, everything started shutting down.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. We took a lot of heat for that one. Let me ask you this. It sounds like Omicron is so infectious. I keep hearing Delta is so infectious. Even the Alpha one was so infectious. How infectious are we talking about here now that we're on the Omicron stage? How does this compare to other normal illnesses in terms of infectiousness?
Well, first of all, like Alpha was only like 30% more infectious, 50% more infectious. Delta is like 2x more infectious than the Wuhan. But Delta they say is more contagious than smallpox. Basically Delta had an R naught. R naught is like the virgin R if you're like not doing any mitigation, like if you were completely caught off guard. Delta has like 6 to 9 R naught.
Which means just
3 to 5. Just
for the layman, that's how many people a typical person would infect, right?
Like basically one person, if it's 3, one person infects 3, each of the 3 infects 3 more, each of the 3 infects 3 more. The original Wuhan we think is like between 3 and 5, 3 and 4. Delta we think is between 6 and 9. But if this is like, let's just say 3 times worse than Delta or 4 times worse than Delta, we're talking about like 24 to 30. Like it's.
But that seems insane. Like what? Is there anything comparable to that?
No, it's like, first of all, I think it's a combination of the R naught. It's also like reinfection because in terms of contagiousness, it's a higher viral load. So every breath you take, every breath you give,
I'll be watching you.
You give out way more viruses, and every breath you inhale, a smaller amount will do its job when previously you needed a bigger amount, so a bigger dose. So it's all these kind of things that adds up. And there's actually something that they think actually might survive in the air longer because it's more polar. Like basically the mutations, there's so many mutations that the molecule becomes more positively charged. And because of that, instead of like when it's floating these droplets, it could easily get evaporated out if it hits the wall of the droplet, and then. But if it's more polar, basically it stays on the inside and survives longer in these aerosols and droplets. And that's why it stays longer, more stable airborne. That's one of the theories.
But is there any contagious diseases that are this infectious, I guess is what I'm asking.
Like measles is in the teens.
Okay.
So if it's really truly 3 times more contagious than Delta, this is going to definitely set one of the world records.
Wow.
And I think again, we're lulled into complacency. We're right now in this denial. No way. We've never seen something so contagious before or evasive against the vaccine so quickly before. No way. But you know what? We've been saying no way since last year. Everyone says, after the spring wave and the summer wave, it's like, oh, we're done. We're herd immunity. It's not coming back. Boom, winter wave. And then after the winter last year, it's like, oh, we're herd immunity is not coming back. Boom, Delta, right? And then like basically everyone who said we're herd immunity, they've been wrong every time. Like this sucker just keeps adapting. It's a race. It's racing to survive. And the more warm bodies that you give it, the more practice it has to evade and adapt. And if you give it billions of people who've been infected already, then yeah, the virus is going to find a way. Remember Jurassic Park? Life finds a way. Like the virus will find a way.
Dr. Ding, I got to stop you there. Don't they say viruses aren't even living?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying the adaptation.
You got him. You got him good.
I'm just
no,
kidding.
but it's called an analogy.
Yeah, right. Apologies. You're right.
No,
I don't know. Stop using your $2 words, Harvard doctor.
So are we ever going to
simplify for you?
Are we ever going to get rid of this thing? Because it seems like we're headed down a path of COVID world forever.
No, I don't think we're doomed or anything like that. Some people call me Dr. Feigl Doom. I'm not. I'm a very positive guy. I find the good things in life, but I'm also a realist. I don't ignore the bad signals. And I think the thing is like, people need to get over that. You cannot just rely on a single layer. Like if you have a castle, you can't just rely on your moat to protect you. You can't just rely on your outer wall. You have to multi-layer.
Yeah, AR-15s for the whole family.
What I'm really trying to say is we've relied on single layer protection for way too much, right? Passwords, you need now 2-factor authentication. We need 2-layer protection against COVID. You need a mask, and you can't wear flimsy cloth masks. You need to wear the N95 or KN95, FFP2.
I'll be honest, I've never worn that.
The N95?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever worn an N95.
Really?
I have one. My brother got one for me in the middle of the pandemic.
It's
and
good.
It's still
It
sitting
feels way
in
better.
You wear N95 masks when you go out?
Yeah.
Straight up?
Well, they're
I
not that
travel-
crazy. It's just a cloth mask with extra layers. It's not
damn.
some insane face mask.
It's the KN95. I recommend.
Yeah, KN95.
But by the way, if you wear a beard, it leaks. So both of you gotta shave.
Even this, you think, is leaky?
Yeah, there's an actual.
Fuck it. I'm gonna
CDC
die of
posting.
COVID. I'm not shaving.
See,
you know
there
how
you
bad
go.
I look? You know how bad I look without facial hair?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you look like a babe. I'm trying to be nice because you were getting.
You want to
Yeah.
live or you want to look sexy with a beard? Come on, man.
I'd rather die than shave this beard off, doctor.
That's right, brother. That's right. Come to the right side.
It ain't happening.
No, but see, okay, the beard is only a microcosm of what I kind of want to talk about with respect to political action that needs to be taken, and more importantly, genuine changes that people still need to live with in their lives, do you feel like, and the resistance to that, do you feel like we will ever get back to a point where there are legitimately like shutdowns in an effort to like, prevent a wave? I feel like that's impossible at this point. It's like politically impossible. There's no motivation for it. We're not Australia. We're not a communist country like Australia or New Zealand.
Ever happening, yeah.
So,
No way.
I don't.
Those communist bastions of Australia.
Yeah,
sure.
that's right.
Okay. So first of all, I think we have a choice to make. Do we value lives or do we value the economy? And I
Done.
think we know
Economy.
the answer to that.
Easy answer.
Done.
Yeah, capitalism, baby. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like here's the thing, like we so many people starve to death. So many people have no health care and die literally because of no health insurance, or their health insurance are so crappy it won't cover their medicines. We let people do that all the time. It's horrible in this country. And like we have these really weird values that somehow, people's lives are meaningless in the face of, the show must go on, right? Which still, by the way, Broadway, they have outbreaks all the time. I think, look, we need, at some point, obviously, you have to take personal responsibility. Please get vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, please get tests. Please wear masks. Please don't, spew your aerosols indoors at parties without any mitigation. But if you're going to do all that, and we tell you all these things, it's kind of like, smoking is bad, but we try to raise the taxes on cigarettes. So we try to prevent minors from buying it. But in the end, if you're still going to do it after we know it's going to kill you, in our society, I don't know if we're going to be able to ban cigarettes, or ban even bacon. I don't think so. But at the
You
same
want to ban
time,
bacon?
well,
Okay, I'm out.
It causes diabetes, heart disease, and strokes, and colon cancer.
I'm out.
Pancreatic cancer, gout. Like, do you want me to keep going? Kidney damage? Like, I can go on of all the things that bacon can cause. But I know that if I say don't eat bacon or ban bacon, your audience is going to lose their crap.
I'm losing. I'm holding it in right now, but I'm losing my mind.
Actually, there was the hamburger ban. Remember that whole talking point from a while ago?
Oh, the Green New
They're
Deal.
gonna kill our
Alexandria
no more hamburgers.
Ocasio-Cortez
Yeah.
wants you to stop eating hamburgers.
You heard it. Dr. Ding
We
says
should
no more bacon.
incentivize you to switch to more vegan, vegetarian, or alternative protein sources.
He wants us to eat soy. You heard it here first.
So
nothing wrong with
it
soy,
seems to me, Doctor, it seems to me like what we're facing down is the way things are going, New York, California, blue states where people believe in science and support the government to do more to prevent COVID is going to be better off. And Florida and Texas and, Mississippi, whatever the fuck, where the governors are like, kids can't wear, not only, the governors straight up are like, you can't wear a mask in school. We are banning masks in school.
Yeah.
They're banning mandates.
Right.
But
okay.
yeah.
Well, but what we're heading towards basically, a lot of conservative deaths, right?
Yeah, we're having a burn through, and we've seen the huge differences in Biden voting versus Trump voting counties.
3x,
The
right?
difference of, it's more than 3x. It's sometimes 4x, 5x, depending on how extreme of the tails.
So is this
of the voting.
good? Do you think maybe it's good for is this a good kind of for the Democrats? Is like, yeah, let's keep doing it. Let's just kill off all the Republicans.
No. See, I don't
This
like
is
that
good,
because
right?
I hear a lot of Schadenfreude comments all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that because first of all, there's lots of Democrats who live in Texas, and there's people that I have relatives and friends who are of both parties, and with the difference in this and smoking is that smoking you kill yourself. But
secondhand smoking,
actions and not vaccinating, you actually are killing others around you. And also, smoking, yes, you all secondhand smoke, you kill your neighbors and your family members who are near you as well. And that's why secondhand smoking is banned in restaurants. We ban secondhand smoking in restaurants and many other places because the aerosols from the cigarettes kill others around you. But somehow, by not vaccinating,
that's when America went downhill,
and not protection. Aerosols kill other people around you is somehow okay, but secondhand smoking is not. Like,
But ultimately,
basically, it's so warped.
Ultimately,
Like,
it's
we
what it
need
is. So let's just,
No, it doesn't work that way regardless, because Republicans don't care about Republicans don't win elections by virtue of having more people vote for them in a democratic process. They win elections by stopping people from voting regardless. So they are already in the minority within the voter base.
those margins are razor thin, bro.
No, but it doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter, because they will increase the amount of stress as they have through Republican legislatures all around the country, as they have, to basically limit who can actually vote, and they'll still end up winning. And not only that, but they also have like provisions that they're passing in certain Republican states. I think Texas is one of them, actually, where they can by the legislature completely deny the will of the majority, even if God forbid a demon rat communist wins a position, they can overturn it in the courts. Like, and this is what they're going to keep doing. So the idea that like Republicans dying is like good for the Democratic Party, let alone like, is the Democratic Party even good? It's not happening. Like, that's not a real, it's not a real thing.
It tears apart. Right. I agree. First of all, I think that, gerrymandering voter suppression actually suppresses way more votes. So I don't think it's
You think it's a negligible
strategy or moral strategy.
So, Doctor, what's the prediction for the next 6 months? What's just be brutal about it. Give me that shit that you used to give me on Twitter that got everyone angry. Just give me the prognosis, Doctor.
I'm not trying to anger anyone, but I think we're going to have a really, really bad burn through, like a burn through that we have not seen before. And by burn through, I mean like hospitals overwhelmed, most people infected with Omicron by the next 6 months or year. And, it's going to be like, are you boosted? If you're not, you're extremely vulnerable. And if basically, you know how like, if a flood is coming and you're telling everyone to go to high ground, and everyone who ignores you basically are going to be caught in the flood. Right now, I think everyone who's boosted is going to be on high ground and wearing masks, N95 masks, and shave so that their masks actually work pretty well. Basically, that is the equivalent of going to high ground, like getting the premium masks, protecting yourself with boosters, ventilating, buying HEPA filters for your home, and or UV disinfection for your home's HVAC, like all these things. Tested, being super cautious. But those who go to nightclubs and who do all the dangerous things, I'm not saying they'll all die, but a lot of them will get super sick. And long COVID, we know long COVID has effects of dropping your IQ points 7 points if you're in ICU.
Yeah.
You get dumber if you get COVID?
I mean,
that means you're getting brain damage, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're hospitalized but not ICU, you lose like 4 points. In ICU, you get lose 7 points equivalent. But even if you never got hospitalized, you lose about anywhere from 2 to 3 IQ points.
Yo,
that's what we needed. Republicans to be dumber,
even dumber than they are.
That's good.
That's dangerous.
But for reference, like a kid's lead poisoning. Lead poisoning in kids, we don't accept that in society, right? No lead poisoning.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We stopped doing lead.
Have you seen Pittsburgh or even Flint, Michigan?
I know. I'm saying theoretically.
For the most part, yeah.
No, we definitely accept lead poisoning children.
But lead poisoning children is 2 points.
That's it. Let's party. People say lead tastes good.
Yeah, I'm sucking down lead extra hard.
If you shift the average, the bell curve, 2 points. Previously you had 2.5% of people over IQ of 130, and similarly, basically, if you shift it by 2 points, that number drops to almost like zero. And similarly, in our society, if long COVID burns through so many people, and everyone suffers on average even a half a point or 1 point IQ drop, that's a huge amount of mental health issues and lots of organ damage, and we're going to be paying for this for years. We're really screwed. Even if there isn't a huge number of deaths, the long COVID effects are going to be with us for years. And so this is what I'm saying. Everyone, please.
Dude, that's scary, though. The brain damage. You're going to get brain damage. Ian got COVID. Ian, do you feel dumber?
Absolutely.
Fuck, Ian.
I
didn't want to say it, but
I don't think like we're gonna take the systemic precautions. So what you're hyping up basically is like individually protecting yourself and your loved ones, which strikes at the core that Americans understand. We're a very selfish country. We're very selfish individuals. Everyone's an individualistic person.
Yeah.
So that's a good attitude to have, I guess. I totally do see that people who kept up with the latest in what's going on with the COVID world, definitely feeling fatigue and being a lot more skeptical every time there's a new variant. It certainly doesn't help that there are so many media outlets, especially on the right and in independent media, that are saying like, oh, they're just making up fake strains now.
Mm-hmm.
They're making up fake variants to like keep the COVID market going.
Yeah.
Ironically, that is what they themselves are doing, which is, spreading misinformation. And you mentioned cigarettes, right? We have a lot of restrictions on what you can and can't show with respect to cigarettes in mainstream media. Obviously, back in the day, we had, 5 out of 10 doctors recommend Camel. Like that was, we had doctors promoting cigarettes.
The billboards.
Yeah, we had billboards, all that sort of stuff. The reason why the cigarette analogy is actually a really interesting one from my point of view. The reason why this is so much worse is because like it's like you have an entire 50% of media, both independent and also mainstream media, that is promoting the benefits of secondhand smoking and saying that like smoking doesn't kill, and everyone that is saying smoking kills is a pussy and a liar and a communist.
They're saying that the secondhand smoke is actually good for your lungs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's significantly worse.
And somehow believing that cigarettes are bad and accepting that cigarettes is really, really dangerous for you is apparently weakness, right? Like the analogy today.
In fact, smoking doesn't even cause cancer. That's just big chemo.
Yeah. Well, that's big chemo.
It's tough, man. It's crazy out there. But
smoking doesn't cause cancer. It's big chemo. That's why we need to go to another big pharma manufacturer to do the vapes instead.
Right.
That's the real cure.
But I think what you guys are touching on is important. At this point, all we can do is protect ourselves and people around us. Hassan, you got to get boosted.
Yeah, I know.
You want to get that boost before the Amicram lowers your IQ by 5 points.
Amicram.
The Ambicram.
No, it's cool. I give myself brain rot every day. I stream on Twitch, so I'm actively hurting my brain.
Okay. All right. Well, then if you don't,
No,
what's another 5 points?
Yeah, you're right. I just haven't had time.
Between friends, what's another 5 points? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ambicramby and Finch.
It's a slippery slope, man. It's a slippery slope to whatever. Like, I believe in a lot of individual freedoms, but at the same time,
I do not, for the record.
Really?
During a pandemic,
on that.
Everyone just like needs to like drop their egos and just work together and theoretically kumbaya to work together. But we know that there's so many sabotaging governors and legislatures that's going to prevent that, and bad media. We're going to have a reckoning when this thing is over of how many people they honestly killed with their demons.
No shot. There will be no reckoning. Those people are going to run the country, and they're going to continue running the country. I doubt that Greg Abbott or Ron DeSantis ever get any sort of like punishment.
Oh, and I'm fucking sure as hell that Trump's going to win. The Repubs.
Yeah, Joe Biden is dying. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, no, I think the future does look bleak. So yeah, protect yourself, protect your loved ones, get boosted. I will get boosted as well.
Dr. Ding, do you think asking people to wear masks is equivalent to tyranny?
Probably not. Okay. I'm going to take a hard no on that.
How would you compare wearing masks to putting minorities into death camps?
Well, death camps is extermination. Mass doesn't exterminate you.
Okay.
Mass
This guy's a liar. Why'd you bring him on, Nathan?
That's not what they're saying on the right.
This guy's a liar. No, it's the Holocaust is Holocaust was bad because everyone was inoculated and immunized. That was the bad part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
George Washington technically mandated everyone get inoculated against the smallpox for his
Yeah,
army.
he was a coward.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a British monarchist, actually.
Yeah, we were.
I'm so
Still
conservative.
recognize the Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The George Washington and the American
Now that's
forces.
reactionary.
Yeah. That's real.